multiplier, swap to Grimoire, get our Noctua out, and red crits. And this is what we wanted to see, 240 times. Crit chance, crit damage, really sick. As mentioned, with melee crescendo in endurance missions, you can also mod it for a bit of damage and finishers, but finishers do innately much bigger damage. Yeah, you can get permanent 12 times combo multiplier, as if this isn't fast enough. Millions and millions of damage. Hey guys, these are the reasons Ceramic Dagger is super powerful and you want it. So not only is it a decent melee which will increase sprint speed, parkour and melee damage passively for you, but also you get this stacking initial combo multiplier on every kill. It says primary kill, but secondaries such as Noctua and Mace's Peacemakers and so on also work. Initial combo, crit chance, it really does some decent damage. You can mod it with melee crescendo, corrupt charge, covert lethality to very quickly reach 12 times combo multiplier. It has full Riven disposition, and if you want, you can even mod it if you like daggers for actually playing with it as a proper melee weapon. In that case, you would change the evolutions. This can also be very interesting for reloading very slow loading weapons, both primaries and secondaries, although there's other ways to do that. Yeah, this gives you plus 200 damage. Might look like a small amount, but that's the initial damage, which is multiplied and multiplied and multiplied by mods over and over. Yeah, there's many ways to mod this. This I wouldn't really recommend necessarily, but you can do it. It's kind of niche for just that small burst every once in a while. This is if you want to go status with Weeping Wounds, for instance. It doesn't have slash, which is kind of painful, but puncture will up your crit rate quite a lot. Yeah, this is the build I've gone for anyway for the purpose I have for it. Gun and Blade, Adept Reflexes, and Absolute Valor, and here is the build on it. I'm running two builds. This is the one for actually doing damage with, say, Kullervo or other melee focus frames, and this is for frames like Ashe and Mesa, Dante, and so on, where you actually want to get combo multiplier, and through the use of secondary outburst on your unused secondary, you get 240% crit chance and crit damage if you're at the full 12 times, which is not that hard to get. And then it applies, even though you cannot place arcanes on exalted weapons, it still applies. You get red crits, orange crits into the tens of millions. It's really nutty. So that, in a nutshell, is how you buff the hell out of your secondaries and secondary exalted weapons with Ceramic Dagger. That's why it's so popular. That's why people spend thousands of platinum on getting Rivens for this weapon. It does also have a full disposition, and you can use it in different ways. You can even put on a melee influence to crowd control an insane amount of targets and have very fast attack speed. I personally use it for this method with melee crescendo. Pretty endgame strategy for endurance runs and so on, but there's no replacement for it. Basically, it's the only melee weapon that does this. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe. Anything really helps the channel out to grow. Very grateful to you for that, and peace out. Have a great time, day, week, everything. So here's some footage with the Ceramic Dagger and what it is good for. Very nice little niche melee weapon that, you know, if you like your secondaries, can really come in handy. If you group them up with Phasor and Void Snare or any other grouping tool, Cordon also comes to mind. Yeah, you can get even faster combo multiplier, but you see, like literally 5 seconds and we're at 12 times combo multiplier. It did fade really quickly because we don't have dexterity mods, but we go to our Grimoire, then get our Noctua out, and orange crits. Kaboom. And here it is, the buff itself. Secondary outburst. Okay, it seems like we need to extend the duration of our combo multiplier, because it should be 240%. And now 180%. Yeah, it stacks all the way up to 240%. So very, very interesting little mod. I think we will actually go ahead and stick some combo duration on it, because that's a bit too low. It really is. Shouldn't be fading quite that fast. Yeah, the thing is, we're not running dexterity on either of these anymore, so you do want to mod it with at least one combo duration mod, so you can switch hassle-free to your secondary. Right, and because we're just using this for priming, realistically, I can swap out that combo duration. So we have body count, and we have like gladiator rush. So that's 20 seconds instead of 2.5 seconds. We do lose some damage and the radiation status, but that is totally fine, and a massive critical damage multiplier, not as massive as it looks, because one of the buffs was coming from Tenacious Bond on our pet with Falcax at 50% crit chance. Highly advisable to do that. 120% final crit damage multiplier on all your weapons. Offentis is usually 2.2, now it's 3.4. Grimoire is usually much lower as well, and it applies to your Exalted as well. So let's try that again, and I will show you this time the Vazarin method of grouping them up. We literally get our 12 times in one hit, or 2 hits, something like that, when they're all grouped up. Simulate, and you know, we could easily, I have other videos published, we could easily, kaboom, 12 times combo multiplier, swap to Grimoire, get our Noctua out, and red crits. And this is what we wanted to see, 240 times. Crit chance, crit damage, really sick. As mentioned, with melee crescendo in endurance missions, you can also mod it for a bit of damage and finishers, but finishers do innately much bigger damage. Yeah, you can get permanent 12 times combo multiplier, as if this isn't fast enough. Millions and millions of damage. Let's try that with some really hard enemies. Corrupted Heavy Bombard, Heavy Gunner. Okay, I have to clear. Clear! And here we go. Let's get our Offentis out for fun. Yeah, you do actually have to aim the normal fire mode. Okay, let's group them up. And here we can land some finishers as well. It's melee crescendo. And here you will see Gun and Blade stacking like crazy. 44 kills, right? So realistically, when you use Noctua, you're not really going to want to spam it this much. You can, but they all have slash procs now, right? So look at that. Huge damage, because this damage stacks up with tragedy. And it's still ticking away. Secondary outburst is still up here somewhere, because we don't get orange crits without it. Must have just faded. Swap back. And there it is again, 160%, and we are on 8 times combo multiplier, thanks to Gun and Blade being at 53. Right, stack them all up. And nuke them down. If anything survived, quick tragedy, finish them off.